It's Java and Gab with Jordan, here to perk up your day. It's Java and Gab with Jordan, start your week the acapella way.
Good morning and welcome to Java and Gab with Jordan. I'm Jordan Travis and just excited to be here. I have some new swag. Look at this. This came to me from my lovely kids. So I got this awesome dad. Looks like this. Yeah, I love it. I was kind of expecting that when I went up for a drink or something, that there'd be some nasty logo or something under there that making fun of me, which would totally be our family MO, which is great. I gotta have a little slurp of coffee. I hope you have a warm beverage with you. And oh, I love it. So welcome, my name is Jordan, and welcome to Java and Gab with Jordan. I'm the new executive director of the Sing Festival here in Toronto, and I've decided that come 2021, I will no longer be the new executive director. I will officially just be the executive director, and maybe even the old executive director. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But just welcome here. I hope that whatever you celebrated over this last week, whether you're celebrating Kwanzaa or Christmas or Hanukkah or any celebration, that you've had just an amazing, wonderful time. Last week, you probably remember that I gave you some really horrible dad jokes, and apparently Santa heard that, and you can see what I got under the tree for Christmas: a pair of socks. Please wait, dad joke loading. And actually, there is a bit of a dad joke loading here, so I'm going to give you a new dad joke, a little boost of positivity and laughter this morning. So recently, I guess it wasn't that recently, but somewhat recently, they were excavating in Egypt, and they were looking at some tombs, and they went into a tomb, and they opened up one of these actual tombs. Probably not a good idea. And they were kind of scraping some of the inside to find some of the, like, what were some of the things that these people may have eaten or been part of. And they found little bits of hazelnut and chocolate. Isn't that amazing? So they decided to name the fellow Ferrero Rocher. Ferrero Rocher. Oh, wonderful dad jokes to start your morning off. I hope you're enjoying these jokes as much as I am. I think the answer is no. You're probably not enjoying them as much as I am. Wherever you are, can you let us know where you're watching from? So I can see a few people. Happy Monday, Julia. Happy Monday. It is kind of, I'll be honest with you, it's a bit of a dreary day here. It's kind of gray, and some of the snow that we had over the holidays has melted, at least here in Burlington. But you know what? It's wonderful to kind of just inject with positivity anyway, laugh and have a good time together. That's what it's all about. So yeah, let me know where you're from. Put it in the comments below. It's just wonderful to see all these people from all over the world chiming in. And while you're doing that, I'm also going to have another slurp from my awesome new mug. Oh, now, one of the things that I like to do is a bit of a quote of the day. And I realized that this is actually going to be the last Java and Gab for the year, right? So the next time we're together is going to be in 2021, which is awesome. So I wanted to drop a quote that kind of talks a little bit about the new year. And this is from Vern McClellan, and it's: what the new year brings to you will depend a great deal on what you bring to the new year. I think that's really cool. And I think that all of us, I sometimes have a word for the new year or think about my goals or things, but truly it's the action that we bring. It's what we bring that actually decides what the new year will bring to us. I think that's really cool. And I see some people. We have people from Barry, James, listening in from Barry. I think that's Jim. I think I know you. How's it going, Jim? Good to see you this morning. We have, let's see, from Oakville. Hey, Linda. Good to see you from Oakville. This is fantastic. People from all over the place. Just welcome. And, oh, Chris, that must have been for the joke. Yeah, you know what? I totally agree with you. Grown plus. So as we're talking about the new year, one of the things that I wanted to just remind you of is that basically until the new year, so December 31st, you have an opportunity on the Sing website to basically visit us, but also take in our 2020 festival replay. So until the end of the month, if you head over to singtoronto.com, you can click on that. And we're only days away at this point, but there's awesome workshops, awesome performances, and all of these are up for free. So you're more than welcome to kind of join in and just see what's going on. Chris in Waterloo, hey, how's it going, bud? It's good to see you, or at least a photo of you. Fantastic. So the other question that I have for you, and this is actually a big question, and I'm going to need your help in the comments. Is we're coming to the end of the year. We've had will be our 5th iteration of Jab and Gab, and we're looking to have different guests on, feature different artists, highlight different people, and it's really important for us to know, who do you want to see? Right? So if there are different artists that you're really into, a cappella artists that you're like, you know what, I'd really like them to be highlighted, or an interview with a specific person that would bring so much to the a cappella world, especially here in Canada, message us, put it in the comments actually, and let us know and tag them so that we can kind of reach out to them and say, hey, you know what? We want you to be part of this in the new year, because 2021, new beginnings. Let's have new guests. Let's have new artists. Let's feature people all across Canada. That's what this is about, really featuring wonderful a cappella music from across Canada, things that we all love. Oh, we have some other people chiming in. We have Christine Dunn here all the way from Ottawa. I saw someone else, Bruce from Ottawa as well. Bruce, sure, great that you're here with us. Thank you so much for chiming in. That's fantastic. If you're just chiming in, this is Jab and Gab with Jordan. This is all about a cappella music, and specifically some of the cool things that we're doing right here in Canada. Now, I want to share with you an artist, and one of the things that I love to do is kind of talk about an artist here in Canada that are doing wonderful things. And this morning, I want to talk about a group called the Unaccompanied Minors. Awesome name, by the way. I love it. And they're out of the University of Waterloo, and they're a mixed a cappella group, and they formed in 2009. And basically, they've had wonderful opportunities in the past, of course, of performances, doing the UW TED Talks, the ICCA Championships, which is the International Championship of Collegiate a cappella. Try and say that 5 times fast. Woo! The ICCAs. And although the ICCAs are predominantly in the States, they have kind of these little regional opportunities for people to compete and then potentially head down for the more of a national or international competition, which is cool. And in 2020, and I think that this wasn't virtual. They were actually able to record this because of when it was in the year. But the Unaccompanied Minors came second in the quarterfinals, which is fantastic. So really huge congrats to them. And I kind of came across it because I was looking into the ICCAs and looking up some of the videos that people submit. And there's this wonderful video online that has their second place performance. And I was like, I'm just really digging this. This is fantastic. And they're part of, I would say, a larger organization called UAC, which is like University of Waterloo a cappella, a collegiate a cappella. And there's multiple groups under there. So they're one group, the Unaccompanied Minors, one group under kind of the bigger umbrella, which is super cool. And it's wonderful that there's such a strong a cappella community as part of the University of Waterloo. we're going to feature, and we're going to throw it in the comments beside us, but we're going to feature their newest launch. And I think, if I'm right, this was launched like yesterday, and I've watched it a few times already because I can't stop listening to it. And the song is Shake It Out by Florence and the Machine, or at least it's a cover of the Florence and Machine song Shake It Out. And it's awesome. It was all done virtually, of course. That's kind of, in the a cappella world and music world, that's where we're all living right now, but it's totally done virtually. And I love that it features, it feels like, as an audience, it features every single person as a soloist. It's not quite, I think, when I looked over the credits at the end, but it's just filled with wonderful snippets from different people in the group as the soloist. And why I love that is the song is really fresh, and the kind of idea is like shaking off the bad and focusing on the good, I think. And so I think it's a perfect song for the new year, and having different people showcased as soloists in the song kind of shows a different side of the group. And I really love that. So it's a fun song. It's a great cover, and you totally have to check it out. The Unaccompanied Minors, Shake It Out cover of Florence of the Machine. And it should be thrown, actually, I think it's in the comments already. There you go. Check that out. It's just fantastic. And also start checking out some of the other groups that are coming out of the University of Waterloo. Some really fantastic a cappella, strong a cappella, collegiate a cappella music, which is just fantastic. So if you're just chiming in, welcome to Java and Gab. I'm going to slurp another drink of coffee here. And in a minute, I'm going to introduce a very special guest. In the meantime, just before I do, one of the questions I had to you is, are there any groups, artists, speakers that you want to see part of the show? So whether we talk about those groups across Canada or bring them on and do a little interview, throw it in the comments, tag them. We want to know who you want to listen to, and we want to know who we can support, and especially wonderful Canadian a cappella artists, and all genres of a cappella, which is really cool. So I am going to introduce here a really good friend of mine who also happens to be the president of sounds really long, it's a big title, of the Ontario District of the Barbershop Harmony Society. So please welcome with me, Mr. Michael Black. Michael, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah, long time Java or first time Gabber. So thanks for having me on.
Long time Java, first time Gabber. I love it. And I see a beautiful Christmas tree there. How was your Christmas?
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah, I mean, like everyone, it was a kind of a quieter Christmas than usual, but yeah, my wife and I had a great Christmas at home, and then we got up to see my folks and had a bonfire outside, so we could socially distance and be outside. So that was kind of fun. It wasn't the traditional Christmas that we have, but it was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Now your folks are up in Fergus, is that right?
Yeah, they're in Fergus. I'm just in Guelph, so we're all pretty close.
It's like a hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah. How was your Christmas, Jordan?
You know what? I decide that I celebrate all the holidays, right? So I got to celebrate Hanukkah, and now we celebrated Christmas, and it was wonderful. With the kids at home, and especially our 4-year-old, just kind of the eyes lit up, and
yeah,
it's always a wonderful. It's kind of magical and a wonderful time. So it was really good. It was really good. This, I have to admit, this kind of reminds me a little bit of. Have you seen that? What is it? The Seinfeld with the comedians in cars,
yeah.
Copy, except we don't have cars.
Yeah, and you're not that funny.
Absolutely. I'll drink. Cheers! I'll drink to that.
I love your mug. I'm drinking. This is the closest I could find to an appropriate mug, which is a Balzac from the Distillery District. So a former home of or home, I guess, of the Sing Festival. So
yeah, absolutely.
That's as close as I could get.
That we've been there a few times. That's awesome. So you're here. You are. You're a young man. At least I'm going to call you a young man because I'm much older than you. But how do you become the president of first of all, of anything, but especially the Ontario district of the Barbershop Harmony Society. And maybe even before that, for those, there's a bunch of people that will be on today that actually don't don't even know about the Barbershop Harmony Society or the Ontario district. So maybe before even talking about president, like what is that? What does it mean?
Sure. Yeah. So the Barbershop Harmony Society was founded in 1938, and it was developed to preserve and encourage the barbershop art form, which at that time was even starting to wane, and people weren't as familiar with the art form. So this was developed and founded so that we could preserve this art form to keep it going. And now, 75 plus years later, 80 plus years later, we're thriving. We've got about 18,000 members across Canada and the US, and affiliates throughout the globe, and things like that. And yeah, it's a great. Oh, sorry, my cat is going crazy over here. And it's a fantastic organization, like any of these. And there's lots of barbershop organizations, Harmony Incorporated and Sweet Adelines International and Mixed Barbershop Harmony Association. Like any of these organizations, it's you join it because you love the harmony, and you stay because you love the community, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a fantastic community within the Ontario district. Here we're about 750 strong. We've got 27 chapters throughout Ontario. We've got 50 to 60 quartets throughout Ontario, and we're the only all Canadian district of the Barbershop Harmony Society. So we're
explain that a little bit. So the Barbershop Harmony Society is a North American society, but with affiliates around the world.
Affiliates around the world. There's an affiliate in New Zealand, in Australia, and Sweden, and all these places. And then within the Canada and US specifically, there's 17 districts spread out. So we are the Ontario district, and there's lots of other goofily named districts everywhere. But we're proud of all of them. But we're especially proud of Ontario.
And my understanding is that this upcoming year is like a big deal for the Ontario district.
Yeah, we're really excited in 2021. I mentioned the Barbershop Harmony Society was founded in 1938, but the Ontario district was founded in 1946. And so 2021 is actually our 75th anniversary. So we're looking forward to really diving back into our archives and celebrating our history. And also, because of the year we've had, celebrating what's to come and our next 75 years. So I'm really excited about just what 2021 has in store.
That's fantastic. Now, obviously, if this is like a 75th anniversary, this is a big deal. You must have some plans. So
we do. It's a tougher thing to plan.
What are some of the cool things that are going to be happening, and especially what are some of the things that are going to be happening that maybe people that aren't part of the Barbershop Harmony Society or Ontario District could potentially take part in?
Sure. Well, it's like most of a cappella and the singing world, especially these days. A lot of what we do in 2021 is going to be virtual, just by virtue of the fact that we're not really sure when these vaccines and stuff are going to come down. But that makes it especially attractive, I think, for non-barbershoppers, maybe people who aren't familiar with the barbershop art form or aren't familiar with the Ontario district. So our friends in other singing organizations and other barbershop organizations, we'd love to have you join in on some of the events that we're throwing. We're putting together a virtual Ontario Harmony Academy, and details about that are kind of ongoing. But we're going to kick that off, actually, and this is a huge takeaway. I want everyone to sign up for this. It's going to be fantastic. On January 9th, at 7 p.m., we're going to have David Wright in, and he's going to do a little session, a little keynote on the history of barbershop, with a special emphasis on I hope on Canada and Canada's place in that history of barbershop. A lot of barbershop history has been shaped and molded by Canadians and by its presence in Canada. So we're really excited about that. And it's going to be virtual, so you can just hop on our website and join in. It's not just for barbershoppers. So this is a great primer if you're not familiar with what barbershop is, how it started, why it even exists still. It's going to be a really, really good opportunity to check in and see what exactly it means. So I encourage a cappella singers everywhere to hop on that Zoom call, that Zoom session.
And if you want to check out more about the Ontario District and some of these events that are coming up, part of the virtual Harmony Academy, Ontario Harmony Academy, you can go to ontariosings.com. And when you head over to that website, you're going to see a bunch of stuff, but you're definitely going to see that highlight with David Wright. And for those of us in the, that have are involved in barbershop, David Wright is probably one of the most iconic, if not the most iconic arranger and historian.
He is an arranger. He's a historian. He's a judge. He's a coach. He's a professor, mathematician. He's a member of the Barbershop Harmony Society Hall of Fame. So it's just a session you don't want to miss. It's going to be a ton of fun. And that's, like I said, that's the start of our virtual Harmony Academy. So we're going to have sessions all throughout January, February, March, where you can learn more about barbershop, learn more about good skills and stuff like that, similar to what the Sing Festival did this year. So we're really excited about that. And then just to hit on a couple other things, we've got we're going to do a virtual convention in the spring. So no contest portion, but we are going to be showing off and showcasing some great performances by Ontario Barbershop throughout the years. Jordan, I have been archiving and digitizing stuff all year. I'm so excited for what we've kind of got lined up.
Yeah, and especially for those of us who, I love the throwback stuff. I love looking back and seeing how art forms have progressed and seeing what people and some of these arrangements that you hear from years ago. And this goes for all styles of music, really. But when you hear these arrangements and you go, wow, this is gold. This is incredible. We need to do this now, and we need to kind of go back and go, why don't we do some more of that, because it's kind of fun. And it's not about some people go, well, are you progressing then? But I think in some ways you are, because these things have been forgotten, and you're bringing them to the light again. And when we're talking 75 years, that's a long time. So,
absolutely. And especially this year, like we love looking back all the time, but especially this year as we celebrate 75 years. And then as we look ahead, we've got more years to come, and we're really excited about what the future brings too. So
that's fantastic. Now, if I'm going to put it out there, if anyone can throw in the chat, if you have any questions for Michael Black, president of the Ontario District Barbershop Harmony Society, if you have any questions for him, throw it in the chat. We're gonna. But in the meantime, now, Michael, I know that we know each other. We hung up many times, and what people
don't tell all the stories, Jordan.
I promise. But you don't tell the stories about me either.
No. That's good. That's good.
But one of the things I want to talk about is, oftentimes when people are administrators, we don't think of them as performers. But you also, sing a bunch. I think at some point you've sung in like almost every chapter in Ontario at one point. But Michael sings in an awesome quartet called Shoptimus Prime. And tell me about, you did like some collaboration work with a video game. And I will say that being an a cappella enthusiast, right, someone who loves a cappella, there's already a little bit of geekdom going on there. And then barbershop is a little more narrow, and then also liking like video games, right? So now this is pretty
we're at peak niche.
Yeah, I love it. But tell me about your experience and tell everyone about that, because it's really cool.
Sure, yeah. The video game that Jordan's talking about is called Cuphead, and we were really lucky to be involved in it a couple years ago. And it's gone on to, I think the game was way more successful beyond their wildest dreams of the creators of the game. And we've just kind of like hitched our wagon to that star, and it's been really exciting. So if you start playing the game, we're like the first thing you hear. And there's also kind of a mini quest in the game where you have to find the fourth member of the Barbershop Quartet, and then they reunite and we sing another song. So actually, Jordan, I don't know if you know this, but you're pretty involved in the start of this story. It actually started back in 2013. And Jordan was in a quartet at that time called Chameleon, but they were just starting to close out and retire. And so I think someone had reached out to you or another member of the quartet, and you said, "Oh, we're retiring, we can't do this, but you should get in touch with these guys, Shoptimus Prime." And at that time in 2013, we did this small little thing. We recorded it in the bedroom at my old apartment, and we just like sent it off to them. It was we arranged it. It was very small, but they wanted it included in the game. And then we didn't hear anything for a while, but I guess the scope of the game hugely changed. Like it got way bigger. And so by the time they got back to us, like probably 23 years later, 2016 or 2017, they had like a new arranger on everything. They still wanted to bring us in, but they wanted to take us to record in a studio and a couple more songs and do all this stuff. So the scope changed, and we were just like, yeah, we'll do it. So yeah, it was that was how we got involved. But
that's awesome.
we couldn't have predicted.
We threw in the comments there. We threw the video of you guys singing this stuff. This is amazing though. Like, this is super mainstream. They won awards for Cuphead, and
they just released an LP, or the LP they released, I guess, last year. It actually won a Juno Award.
That's
of the stuff. Now, granted, and we like to, that would be a really nice feather in our cap, except that it won a Juno Award for album design, like the best album cover. So we weren't. It's not really. It doesn't reflect on us as much as we'd like.
But that's that's still pretty amazing to be part of something like that. And I heard that through the grapevine that they might be doing like a Netflix like cartoon TV show of Cuphead. So
yeah, we're still waiting to be called for that one.
So we don't have a question yet specifically about you, Michael, but this is a really good question from Bob Lesu, who asks, how does the BHS keep up enthusiasm and membership during this COVID time? And is it failing, or what are some plans to maybe boost? Like, what are some things that are going on? Great question.
Sure. We've like everyone, and especially everyone in the arts community, we've struggled to figure out, what does it look like when we can't meet in person. And so there has been a huge pivot, like the Sing Festival has found, like we've had to find. But I think they've done a good job of keeping up enthusiasm. We did a legacy quartet contest in the summer, and this was finding all the best quartets that never won and recording them, and then it was kind of judged by the community. So finding the best quartet that never won. It was a great way of digitizing and archiving material, going through archive material and pulling out some real gems that we never would have had occasion to do, or certainly the funds or the time, if we kept doing the same kind of cycle of contest and education events and everything that we've done for years and years and years and years and years. So it's really, really exciting. The other thing that I think we found is that the BHS staff, but also BHS members everywhere. Some of these guys like David Wright and some of the top arrangers and directors and things like that. Typically, we would. I'm a member of the Toronto Northern Lights, and typically we would fly coaches in and bring them in to chat. I think we've learned new skills this year. Everyone has been forced to get comfortable with Zoom and with other virtual and digital tools, and those are skills we're going to still have after the pandemic and everything is done. So I think we've just kind of broadened our community. We've been forced to learn skills, but we're going to be able to take those and bring in more people in the future and do more creative things and just do some really, really exciting things. So that's the silver lining I found in all this. And of course, we've seen a lot of virtual performances and ways that people have been able to share their music with a wider community because they're pushing shows and holiday shows and things like that online, as opposed to just appealing to people in maybe a 25-kilometer radius, for example.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that all of these things, I think you're right. The thing that I love about what you just chatted about is as we move towards the future, we can utilize these kinds of things. I'm a chorus director myself, and I was joking that we're never going to have a snow day again. We just have a Zoom rehearsal if it's bad weather. So there's these opportunities that we never had before to connect. I think like everyone, we realize we all would love to be in person. But you know what? The fact that we do have something to keep these communities together is pretty amazing. Now, Jin asked the question here. This is a fun question because I know some of the answer, but she said, how did you originally get involved in barbershop? So I'll let you field that one.
Sure. Yeah. Great question. Thanks, Jen. So actually, Jordan was involved in this story too. So back in 2007, I convinced a whole group of my friends. I just saw a poster for a barbershop show up here in Guelph, the Royal City Ambassadors, and I convinced the tickets for high school students were $5. So like you couldn't get any better than that. So I convinced 10 of my friends. We dressed up in suits. We went to McDonald's beforehand, and then we went out and watched this show, this barbershop show, and they were excited. Everyone had a really good time. Everyone, it's barbershop. It's a good time. But my jaw just kind of hit the floor. Right, I was gobsmacked by what barbershop was and hearing the close harmonies, and so. It took a couple of years. So, and Jordan's quartet, Chameleon, was on that show. And so I remember, watching, and the barbershop group in Guelph, they were a little bit older. And I remember watching them first, and I was thinking, oh, I can't wait until I'm, 60 years old. And then I can join barbershop. But then Jordan and his quartet walked out on stage, and it was like, oh, this is something that's accessible to, at the time I was, I don't know, 17 years old. This is something that's accessible to people my age, right? And so that was pretty exciting. That was an exciting time. So afterwards, Jordan pulled me over to sing a tag. I did not know him at this point. I don't think he could. He twisted my arm to sing that tag, but and then a couple years later, I just went out to rehearsals and with the Guelph chapter. I had seen them at the Fergus Fall Fair up in my hometown, and they kind of pulled me over, and I just started singing with them, and then went out to rehearsals and haven't looked back. That was 2009. I joined the society, February, and it's been one of the great joys of my life.
Yeah, and you know what, the fact that I've been able to see and watch you as a performer and as an administrator and everything that you bring to the Ontario District is just phenomenal. And the fact that you've grown so much in these roles, and it's hard to imagine, like, for those of you who are out there that whenever you have the opportunity, chat with people, because you never know. I mean, it literally was after a show, we're like, hey, you want to sing a tag? Like, you were just kind of hanging around, and you never know those little moments and what it could end up leading to in somebody's life, and I know for both of us, barbershop and a cappella music has really given us so much. And
absolutely,
we're fortunate to be able to give back as well. It's so awesome. It's been wonderful. And Michael, I love the fact that we could sit here and hang out and have coffee and learn a little bit more about the Ontario District and things that are going on. Just thank you so much for.
No, my pleasure. I'd love to come back if you'll ever have me back. Maybe when people are, I don't have that many stories, but would love to be back on just to chat and hang out and have a coffee. So.
Absolutely, we'll make fun of each other. So what do you take in your coffee? What do you, I like, most of the time I drink black coffee. This morning I put a little bit of cream in. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have a little extra. What are you drinking in your coffee?
I'm normally a black guy too.
Michael Black.
It goes with the name, yeah. But this morning I have some seasonal. We have creamer that's actually like festive creamer. It's Elf creamer, and so I popped a little bit of that in this morning. So it's very delicious. It's like pepperminty and
that sounds nice. A little festive.
Yeah.
Well, Michael, thank you so much for coming on this morning and for chatting. And for those of you who want to learn more and maybe sign up for that David Wright, I don't want to say course. It's more,
it's kind of a keynote session.
amazing.
It's just like a lecture is also, I think, a bit too heavy. It's going to be just a fun evening. We're going to learn about barbershop afterwards. For people who actually are familiar with barbershop, we're going to have a name that quartet trivia. And so that could be kind of fun. We're going to have prizes. It's just going to be a fun evening. So yeah, like Jordan says, you can find us on at ontariosings.com. You can also find us on social media at Barbershop ONT. So that's on Facebook, Barbershop ONT, Twitter, YouTube, Barbershop ONT, Tinder, Christian Mingle, the whole bit.
Everywhere.
I'm just kidding. We're probably mostly those three, but and if you want to keep up to date, the best place to do it is to subscribe to our newsletter. So you can do that through the ontariosings.com.
Awesome. Michael, thank you so much for being with us today. And I just wish you all the best into the new year. And I can't wait for us to be able to, I'll be honest with you, go out for a beer.
Yeah, I know, and maybe sing some tags.
Maybe not at 10 in the morning,
no.
but
time appropriate. But
just kind of go out and hang out. And when the time comes, I will be very, very much looking forward to that. So in the meantime, have a wonderful new year, and we'll speak to you soon.
You as well. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks. Take care, Michael.
Bye.
All right, everyone. That was Michael Black, the president of the Ontario District of the Barbershop Harmony Society. And just wonderful hanging out with him and chatting about barbershop, but also the whole district and the society and all those, singers out there. And if you are a singer out there and you're kind of looking for maybe an opportunity for your group to be highlighted, somewhere across Canada, especially, but even the world, send us a message. Drop it in the comments. We want to know where you are. We want to know the groups that you want to see highlighted on this program as we come into the new year. Speaking of the new year, I have some sad news. Next week, no Java and Gab with Jordan. Sad face. We're going to take a 1-week break. More for my sanity, and then we're going to come back the second week of January, and we're going to have some people from Acapella, which right from Toronto, so they're going to be featured on the program, which is fantastic. But we want to feature other groups, so throw them in the comments. We want to talk to them. We want to bring them on. We want to experience their music. We want to do all of that, especially groups across Canada. We really want to promote Canadian acapella more than anything. I want to talk a little bit about the Sing Festival to finish up. As you know, we're finishing up this year with our 2020 festival replay, and basically our whole festival is online. So if you headed over to singtoronto.com, there we go. Boop. You can visit us at singtoronto.com, and you can go click on the festival replay. All of the shows, the throwback shows, the primetime shows, the workshops, they're all there. And you can experience them. You can enjoy them. They are fantastic, and they're free. And just enjoy. Bring some music. I know I was on the FaceTubes. I like that. It's better than InstaTwit. I don't think that's very good. No. But the FaceTubes. And so many different organizations were having Christmas shows and things like that, really busy. But now some of that, pre-recorded live music has kind of waned a little bit. Here's an opportunity for you to check that out, which is fantastic. In addition, if you head over to the page and you give a donation, we are a charitable organization. If you drop a donation of more than $20, we can give you a charitable tax receipt. And of course, that helps us continue to do all the wonderful work that we like to do, which is support Canadian a cappella music, bring and highlight artists from across the country, but also bring artists from across the world. We are planning our spring. So similar to what Michael was saying earlier, we are going to have our virtual festival, depending on how things go, but definitely have a huge virtual component this spring. And we want to feature artists. So this is a great way for you to be part of that, which is fantastic. All right. So just as a recap, we had a horrible dad joke, a wonderful quote. You can go back and listen to those. We featured the Unaccompanied Minors. We talked about their new drop of Shake It Off. And if you want to find more, you can find the Unaccompanied Minors on Instagram, Facebook. You can go to their website, but really Instagram and Facebook, give them a like, check out their new piece. It's fantastic. And of course, we also chatted with Michael Black from the Ontario District and the Virtual Harmony Academy, some education opportunities coming up. Check out ontariosings.com. Really wonderful. We're going to wrap it up. It's kind of sad. This is the end of this year, but I'm really looking forward to doing more of these with you. It's wonderful to have you on, and I just want to wish all of you the very best in the
do